Well, good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope that your weekend was safe and warm. Driving into the church office here on a Monday morning, I still noticed some snow on the ground, probably some ice in spots. So if you haven't left the house yet, do be careful, because we continue to work with this weather that we've had over the past couple of weeks. But just thankful to be able to go into work and continue to work in the ministry here this week. And what I'm going to do on Mondays, I'm hoping to continue to do, is just a short little 5 to 10 minute video of some type of subject, some type of encouragement just for our church family. And here on this first Monday that we're doing this together, I thought it might be appropriate to just talk about the use of technology in ministry. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Obviously, because I'm using a little bit of it right here, you can deduce that I think it's somewhat good, and it can be a useful tool. But how useful? I think we do always have to be careful, because with the modern technology that we have, the good thing is that everybody has a platform that they can use to speak, to get their message out there, to have their voice heard. The bad news is that everybody has a platform, and they can get whatever message and whatever voice out there that they want. So we do have to be very, very careful with any type of media. I mean, it's not just social media and the new types of ways and avenues in which we have to get a message out there, but it's also things like radio, things like television. I know that a lot of our people, a lot of church members in our area, we live in a very rural area, they continue on Sunday mornings, as they're getting ready for church, as they're getting ready to come into our fellowship and worship with the local congregation. They often watch their favorite pastor on TV, and is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, I think it obviously can be good if it's a message that's true to the gospel, if it's something that they are getting out there that people need to hear. It can be a bad thing if the individual is looking to this person who they never met, who they don't know anything about them really, except for what they hear on the radio or what they hear on the TV. If they're looking to that person for their spiritual guidance rather than the people within their local church. And so the other thing that I'm surprised that some people don't know by now, as long as TV pastors and churches that you can find on TV have been out there, is that unlike shows and things like that, all of these pastors, all of these teachers, all of these things that you see on TV, the church pays thousands and thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars to put that on TV. It's not like the network, whoever it may be, thinks to themselves, "Oh, we can get some viewers. We can entice advertisers to come to our network because we put this popular pastor, this popular teacher on TV." That's not how it works. The churches, out of their budget, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to put this message on TV. That's how they choose to do part of their outreach or their evangelism or whatever it may be. So you may think, well, this person wouldn't be on TV if they weren't so good. If you got the money, anybody can be put on TV. And so I think that's important for us to realize. For one, with the technology like this that anybody can use, it's equally important for us to realize that if this is being used in a ministry type of way, then hopefully there's no expectation of financial gain or profit. It should be used for something other than the financial stability or the wealth gathering of the person, and should be used to get the message out there. And so this is if you're looking for the theological principle, if you're looking for the purpose as to why I chose this particular topic for our first Monday morning commute, it's this: we should always, as the people of God, we should always come to teaching, Bible teaching, discipleship in digital formats with people that we're not there with. Even you at the church who were part of the congregation at Rough and Stacy where God has led me to minister. Even as we do this, everything that I say should be met with a certain degree of skepticism. I encourage you every single time to go to the Bible, to look at these things, to question whether or not the principles and the biblical truth that I'm saying, whether it's in a pulpit on Sunday morning or whether it's in a digital format, is this actually what the Bible has to say? Because not all ministry, not all people who have an avenue for ministry, they don't all have the gospel at heart. Sometimes there are, in fact, other motives. A couple of passages that come to mind. If you will just turn to 1 Samuel and look at the book of 1 Samuel, sometimes you see that there in 1 Samuel chapter 2 that we are told that the high priest Eli, that Samuel has come to live with him, and it tells us to be trained as a priest, as a prophet, and it tells us that Eli, the Lord is going to take away Eli's position as that high priest, as the one who speaks to the people on behalf of God. And he's going to do it not because Eli is a bad man. He's going to do it because Eli has sons. In 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 12, it literally tells us that Eli's sons are worthless men. Worthless men. And he is ministering to the people, but he's not willing to do the hard work of the ministry with his own family. And so because of that, the Lord is going to take that away from him. So there in 1 Samuel chapter 3, the Lord speaks to Samuel. Samuel, after a couple of times of figuring out what's going on, because Samuel's still a young boy at this point, Samuel listens to the Lord, and the Lord tells him that Samuel is now going to speak for the people, and he's going to take that away from Eli. And so Samuel goes to Eli, and Eli says, "The Lord spoke to you, tell me what he said, and tell me the whole truth of what he said." And Samuel tells him the truth. He says, "The Lord's going to take this away from you because of the disobedience that you have with your own family." And Eli says, "If this seems right in the Lord's eyes, then we're going to do it. This is what is holy and righteous and good." But then you fast forward many, many years, and Samuel was an old man in 1 Samuel chapter 8. And the people there in Israel are asking for a king. They're addressing their spiritual leader, and they're asking for a king because Samuel's getting ready to die. He's an old man, and his sons do not follow the ways of the Lord. This is what it says. And so here, the people ask for a king to lead them instead of the prophets, instead of the judges that have led them up until this point. And Samuel tries to talk them out of it, and of course they disregard his voice because, again, it's not that they don't respect him. He may be a good leader, a good prophet, a good priest, but they know they're not going to respect the people who are going to fill his shoes, his sons, after he dies, because they are not good men. They are not, even though they are in that position of judge, even though they're in that position of priest, even though they are the spiritual leader, they are not good men who do not follow the ways of the Lord. And so here is the point. Let us always, in everything that we do, especially when we have such avenues like this, anybody can put a message on the internet. Anybody can put a message on the radio or the TV if you've got enough money to pay for that time slot. Anybody can do it. And so as we are engaging with these messages, as we are watching, as we are listening, as we are really devoting time, whether it be on Sunday morning or whether it be on other times, to these media type of messages, let us always be skeptical. Let us always, as individuals, prayerfully go before the Lord with our Bibles open, with reading the Word, because just because somebody is in this position to where they can teach and they can speak and they can give you advice and give you teachings about the Lord, this does not mean that everything is going to be accurate. And so I encourage you, as I always encourage you, let's do our own research. Let's do our own work. Let's open up the Word. Let's daily be involved in not just the corporate gathering and singing of songs and listening to a sermon, but let's build up our own faith. Let's build up our own knowledge through personal study. Let me encourage you with that, and from all of us here at Ruffin Stacey Baptist Church, I hope you have a blessed Monday, and I hope you have a blessed week.